connected.
Yes.
Welcome, beautiful community, to a lovely soulful session with Ngahuia Trewartha from Manor Ceremonies in Port Lincoln. Welcome, beautiful sister. Welcome to Soul Collective.
Thank you very much, sister, for having me today and acknowledging all our sisters that we are connecting with today as well.
Beautiful. Thank you. I just want to take a little acknowledgement to say that we are sitting here where I am sitting on paramount land, and that we honour the cultural, spiritual and traditional beliefs of the First Nations people of this land, from the past, from now and from emerging.
And so it is, and we acknowledge the Bangala people and the Nao people of this land here. We are sitting in Port Lincoln, just on the skirts of, I would say, Boston Bay as well.
Beautiful, and so it is.
And so it is.
As we are here together with our earth behind us and our earth next to us, grounded and settled, I just want to ask you, and if you can share with our community, 3 things that nourish your soul.
3 things that nourish my soul. Oh, what a yummy start, Michelle. The 3 things that nourish my soul is connection and nurturing of relationships. So I like to have a healthy relationship with my sisterhood, my family, my intimate relationship, and my relationship, to, of course, to body, mind, and spirit. So what nourishes me is creating pockets of time to be able to sit and nourishing my soul through practical and healthy practice.
Beautiful. So that's actually carving out and making it really structured to make sure that that is included in your day and your well-being.
It is. It's living sacred and living in ritual. And so carving at that time, or I would say devoting to that time, enables me to be able to nourish every pillar in my life to ensure that I feel whole and I feel nourished and I feel like I have created healthy space to sit in that.
And you know, we all know that beautiful, healthy space and beautiful, healthy energy heals not only you, but your community, your family, and then the earth. So you do that really, really well, which is why we are here together to talk about
so
all things ritual, all things grounded, and all things spiritual. But first, for our beautiful community that may not know you as well as I do, let's take a little time travel back into little Ngahuia's life, where you're from, where your roots are, and how your growing up helped shape the person that you are.
Yeah, my foundations is that I am born in Māori culture in Aotearoa. The North Island of New Zealand is Aotearoa. And I was brought up with my grandmother on a place called a marae, which we call, I guess would be like your temples that we would call here, or a sacred place that houses for sleeping, houses a church, and also a wharekai, which is a big house for eating, which is one of my favourite places to stop in. So it really is about community living and tribal living. So a lot of my summers were spent with my nan, and we would be host for religious camps. They would come out for 14 days and do all their sacred ceremonies and their gatherings. And I'd be part of setting it up with my nan and my aunties, being available to for the people we're hosting, you know, making sure they had plenty of food, making sure the places were set for them. So it was a real retreat every year of sitting in conscious sacred space. And I had a lot of leaders in my life. You know, I've always been little Ngahuia that sat at the ankles of many leaders and listened to lots of stories. So I've been blessed to be able to listen to really good storytellers, some wisdoms of elders, and also that playfulness and that mischievousness that aunties do bring into a circle as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Storytelling is such an amazing way to be able to embed deep knowledge within a culture and within especially young children. Speaking of playfulness, how does Ngahuia now play? Because play is different for adults as what it is for children.
Oh, I like that question. You know, it's sparking joy in your life, you know, sisters. It's And I think that we know we have a little bit of mischief and a little bit of cheeky, and that child is always there. You know, the heart of my heart is joy, and I call it the attitude of gratitude. So it's really sparking joy every day by, you know, it could be out in your gardening, it could be colouring by numbers, it could be cooking, and also having a good hui, a good yarn with a sister or a family member.
Yeah, I was reading only somewhere not long ago, it actually takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. So the more joy we have, the less energy we actually use. So the little,
very nice.
Fun fact.
That's very nice.
Very nice. So you are using hardly any muscles with that gorgeous smile of yours. Now let's get on to Ngahuia that sits here in Port Lincoln. So you've gone from home and you've ended up in a place by the sea. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey?
Yes, I'm in Port Lincoln on the Eyre Peninsula, and we are surrounded by national parks and the ocean. And I followed love here, you know, it was love of friendship and love with a husband and now making a family. So it's wonderful to be here and to be welcomed in this community. We are a city, but I would say we're a close-knitted community here. And yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm meeting good people.
I've seen your transition from, you know, being a mother and raising your small children and tapping into all the things that you probably have embedded in you from birth, really, your spirituality, your healing modalities, your guidance, and all of those things. You even had your own business here in Port Lincoln for quite a while.
I did. I had Mana Wellbeing Centre, which was a lovely place, I guess like my own little marae, you know, for welcoming stories to come in. It was a place where I shared kahuna massage and Reiki and guidance readings, and I feel like it was part of the stepping stone to where I've always been heading anyway. I mean, to me, I feel like everything's already written. Yeah, and the more I surrender, the more I'm able to go with the flow. So to me, it was a stepping stone towards mana ceremonies. And it was a really wonderful way to be in service of community as well as connecting with community. And like I said, it was a time of maturity for me as well.
Because your transition from businesswoman to ceremonialist was a really big learning curve for you as well, wasn't it?
My goodness, it was a big learning. I felt like I was really in my safe house with Mana Wellbeing Centre. I felt like I was, you know, in a really comfortable bubble. It gave me enough energy to be able to raise my children as well as keep a home and do all that what we're doing when our children are at school. And so that was a good balance for me. But as they had their rite of passage and began to leave their schooling, it was time for me to have my rite of passage and to start, well, I feel step up. Yeah. And step up and then step into what I can feel is more what my calling is. Yeah, and I'm definitely feeling more whole in myself because of that. And it definitely was a rite of passage, and it required some support and also some self-love and some permission to be able to have that courage to step up. However, because of the foundations that we've set up as well, every day is a ritual, every day is a ceremony, that attitude of gratitude gave me that healthy foundation to step up into the next house.
Yeah. When you are holding sacred space in a ceremony, and I know that you've held sacred space in circles and other rituals like that. Now, the ceremony for weddings and that kind of ceremony is very different, but very much the same. Is it a place where you can make sure that you are aware of the energy and how it is sitting? And how do you do that when it's a wedding?
Oh my goodness.
A ceremony that's legality based.
Legality based. I feel like that was the challenge of me having to move out of that space and still maintain being who I am, because it's all about holding space, you know, and living with my grandmother in those foundations. It was creating safe space for rituals and holding space so people feel welcomed. you know, that this is our place. And so when it comes to ceremonies for marriages, it is again holding space. So we get to do that preparation, like you and I and our sisters are sitting here. We get to talk to with each other. I get to listen to what the feeling is or the tone is, and then we begin to write your story from that. So by the time we are in the space of marriage, we already have our story ready to be revealed. Yeah.
The people that are there to witness that beautiful ceremony and be within that sacred space. And for me, I know, because I've had the honor of seeing one of your ceremonies. The way that you do hold space in a wedding is just divine, and it was beautiful to watch. It was you shining in that beautiful power whilst sharing this love felt moment with two people. It was a joy. It sparked joy in me.
It sparks joy in me too, sister, to share these experiences with you and to be in service for our communities. But yeah, thank you so much. It's a real honor, and I've got to say, it's like slipping on a glove. You know, when you're in that space and you feel it's so, everyone gets to be part of the story. Everyone has a place, and we all get to be in the sunshine together and be in that space together, which is definitely moments I live for. Yeah.
And it's one that all people will remember. Now, let's flip from the ritual of ceremony with your beautiful business manner ceremonies, and let's flick into more ritual of your everyday life. I'm actually going to break it up a little bit into how you incorporate ritual into your mind, into your body, and then into spirit, and how you do that, whether it's every day or whether it's over the year. But how does that look for you?
Oh my goodness, I would definitely say consistency is the key here, you know, and finding our own rhythm, what works for us. So for my mind, our Henenado, it is about journaling for me. You know, I like to create space for me to be able to just journal in thoughts, inspirations and ideas, and it's a form of meditation for me. It also helps me take out the garbage as well. I like to, you know, have a look at thoughts and go, how is this honoring me? How is this sparking joy? And it gives me time to have insights. So journaling for the mind is definitely the key for me, whether it be dream journaling or a daily journal as well. And it also helps me to take custodian of my space for my mental health. You know, I'm able to be aware where I've picked up something that was perhaps not healthy for me, toxicity, whether I was aware of it or not aware. I like to give my mind a good clearing every day. So journaling helps with that, as well as doing rituals or sweeping or getting fresh air and more sunshine. Yeah. Tinana, the body, definitely.
Just pop back to your dream journaling and tell us what your practice is there.
Oh, for sure. That's such a good idea. Dream journaling, for those sisters that are not familiar with it, it is simply about having a journal next to your bed. And I like to choose a pencil to write with, because I like write upside down, because I'm in that dream state of theta, you know, you're sort of still coming out of sleep. And that's a real good pocket to come into, to be able to write down that bridge of your dreams to coming into this world here. So that's really great. And what it sets up is a healthy ritual for me to go to bed. Like I ensure that I'll set a space and time I'm going to bed. There's a little routine that I like potter around and really set that space to go into sleep. So that's a really good ritual and I think it's simple and doable. When my family were young, I used to sneak the time, you know, so I'd wake up quietly in my bed, you know, and just maybe 5 a.m. or, you know, earlier, and just get down a paragraph of writing.
Do you ever refer back to them?
Oh my gosh, I do. I've been journaling since I was 14, and it's a daily practice, and it's just hilarious to see the evolution.
next time I see you, we're actually going to sit down and read some chapters.
Okay. And I feel like in journaling, it really, with practice, you get out of performing writing. Writing for someone else to read. Once you get out of that, I guess that phase, you can really be honest with what you're seeing. I'm the witness to my writing, and then it's liberating.
Thank you for just taking that brief little interlude.
Yes.
How about your rituals for your beautiful body temple?
Oh my gosh, my beautiful body temple, my tinana, it's all about nourishment and food for me. I do have the attitude of gratitude for our food. So it's whether we harvest or gather or receive, it's having that, taking that time to give grace to the energy of our food. And then I prepare it in that attitude, and then I've always got time to take a breath in. Thank you, graciously receiving, and then getting to the business end. And really just start having all that goodness. I find that it keeps me present, and it's a level of respect and honouring as well to to be able to have such beautiful produce, especially here in Port Lincoln, and good energy. I'm being aware of it, and my body responds to it immediately.
So I know you've just come out of your January cake a day with your festivities. How do you balance that?
December for me is, we have consecutive 8 birthdays in a row, and we have like Christmas, and it's a real big time of party and long tables and sitting with family. So I unapologetically turn up. I would say without apology, and sit there, and I'll have the long lunches, and I'll move into the next meals, and because for us it is gathering our energy as a family, and it's a celebration, and culturally it really is a way of connecting. So I prepare myself, for the coming months before December. I'm moving a little bit more extra. I'm drinking more juices than usual. I'm having a bit of water, and I'm getting ready for that long table. And then now that I'm here in summer January, I have 3 months for myself. So I really put the pedal down now, and sharpen up, or I guess like shape up a few things. Juicing, good produce, and moving my body. So that's for me. When my body is well, my mental health as well. Because I just feel that's where most of my battles would come through, is if I'm not feeling right in my tinana and my body, then it flows into my hinanato, my mind. So I have to actually be conscious and plan for that. With my spiritual and my soulful, I feel like that's a lot easier for me to take care of business there, or to be in that more.
So then when you step into ritual for spirit, I suppose if you've covered off the other 2 foundations, spirit becomes quite easy. It's there all the time because you're already in the flow, and you're already giving gratitude, and you already have joy. Do you have anything more specific to be ritualized within that space?
Yeah, spirituality is something I feel, because I was so nourished and nurtured in my foundations, it's something that's just flowing through me now, and I come from prayers and blessings of many ancestors, so I'm in that flow as well, that antipodes. So for me, spirituality is living ritual. I am a earthly being on this earth, and that means that I have a body, and and I have my own consciousness and my own mind, and that gives me relationships and exchanges. So I really have to take care. I choose to take care of my energy and my relationship exchange, and then that momentum just naturally flows from my spirit into my everyday being, because to me it's about being practical as well,
and being very present.
Yes. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, that really makes sense.
Yeah, cool.
When I look at our beautiful sisters that come to Circle and are perhaps doing their practice in their day, or especially when they're in Circle and in that space, that sacred space together as community of women, sometimes I see that it's hard for them to step out of that space if they're not familiar with it, to then bring that ritual and that ceremony back into their lives. What are some of the key tips with, because you've had small children and lived that, for our sisters to then bring that back into their lives?
Oh my gosh, I would say every ripple matters, and you'll reach the beach when you reach the beach with it. So it really is about simplifying. I had young children, and the attitude of gratitude, like, I've got 2 young children, I've got lots of washing. And so it was as simple as choosing 2 different coloured pegs, and the pink peg was to breathe in and the yellow peg was to breathe out. And that was realistically what I could do to bring meditation into my everyday as a young mum. And then, of course, it was taking time to mindfully breathe. When I was doing the house chores or in my own space, it was breathing in and breathing out. And then every ripple matters. It just builds from that, It's about simplifying things that work for your routine and your rhythm in your life.
Because that's a really great thing to have, that being really conscious of being grateful, because obviously the opposite side of gratefulness is being resentful. And it's a shift of energy to then swap from, well, why do I have to do everyone's washing and these extra picking up this and washing that and cooking that? Changing that narrative within yourself would flow on into your family.
It's a level of expansion, like your energy just expands when you go into gratitude. I mean, I feel like I would get bored, just having that same routine. And then I would go into that level of gratitude. It's like, I'm so grateful to be able to have this consistency of abundance, this consistency of food and of water, to be able to flow into this is normality to me, it's my primal needs are all sorted, and that would just naturally shift my attitude into abundance and gratitude straight away. And then I just felt like my chest would open up and my shoulders would drop, and I'd feel more moments of joy, and then I'd have more energy to have playfulness, and that kept me lighter in my soul and myself as well.
Yeah, because love and joy and gratefulness is a higher vibrational state of living.
Yeah, definitely.
And you are one of the most highest vibrational people I know. So all of these little ways that these little glimpses into your life have been very nourishing and rewarding, for not only for me, but for our beautiful sisters in our community. Is there any other little gems of wisdom that you would like to share with us?
Oh my goodness. I feel like be exquisitely you. Be exquisitely you, simple steps, and already you're there. I've already made it. I'm exquisitely who I am, and how I nourish and nurture my own gifts is what I will bring into this world, because there's no one like you. And life be in it, sister.
Gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Gratitude is the attitude. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, gorgeous sister, for sharing this wonderful time with us. I will pop a little link in our little page for anyone that wishes to get in touch with you for guidance readings, or if they're getting married or naming days.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Beautiful, exquisite gifts that you have for community and for people. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Thank you. And so it is.
And so it is.